Let's now catch up with the Resources Minister Keith Pitt. He joins me from Emerald in Queensland. Good to talk to you again, Keith.
Live from the Explorers Inn, Chris, in Emerald. A bit of a storm blowing in here, actually.
Well, you get some storms up that way. I haven't been to Emerald or the Explorers Inn, but there's plenty of time left when Anastasia Palaszczuk finally opens up some borders. Should the Nationals agree to a net zero target by 2050? I mean, what's to lose? It's 10 elections away.
Well, firstly, Chris, I'm not going to front run my colleagues and what their views are. And once again, we need to see the proposal, what it would potentially cost, who's paying. And as I've said many times, it won't be the people of regional Australia. I was at the Peak Down mines today with Michelle Landry, the member for Capricornia. I can tell you not a single person asked me about net zero. They all asked me about trade, about coal, about the record prices they were getting and how they've got through the COVID period and done just a phenomenal job. They've saved our economy.
Yeah, so why is the Prime Minister pushing this? Why is there this urgency to sign up to net zero in time for Glasgow? Because, as I say, it's 10 elections away. It's just a meaningless gesture now anyway from any political party. What will it actually materially change if you actually make the pledge or don't?
Chris, we've all seen this movie before. It was Paris last time. You've got plenty of people out there who've declared a climate emergency. It hasn't really made any difference. But in terms of the impact, well, we want to ensure, and by we I mean every single one of my colleagues in the Nationals party room, that it doesn't impact jobs in regional areas. Those jobs do rely on the resources sector, on agriculture, and all the things that go with them. I mean, you look at poor Garth Hamilton there at Toowoomba. New Ackland's closing because they couldn't get a decision on an extension. Dropped $180 million out of his economy every year.
Well, the thing is, though, you've got this push to do this. Even people in your own party are talking about net zero. What about Darren Chester? He's saying he's stepping out of the National party room, and this is one of the issues that concerns him. Is he going to join the Liberal Party, do you think?
No, I don't think so. Darren's a nat through and through. He said he'll contest for the Nationals. He's just taken a bit of time with his family, and that's understandable. Having been sacked with him in 2017, Chris, I know exactly how he feels. I've been half sacked this time, and Darren's a valuable member of our team. He's a very strong performer. He's got a lot to contribute, and he's a very, very good local MP. So I expect to see him back in our room and contest in the next election.
Well, I'm just trying to find out, from the voters' point of view, from people who are living and breathing in the economy here, what this argument's about. Because, as I say, you make the commitment, it's absolutely pointless because nothing happens to 2050. It is just a gesture. But it seems very much like the sorts of arguments we've ended up having in the lead up to every federal election. And they tend not to work out very well internally for the coalition.
Well, I think that's right. But once again, I want to be very, very clear in terms of what's happening with the coal sector. We will not be getting rid of Australia's coal and resources sector. We just won't. It's a very important part of our economy. There are 50,000 direct jobs attached to it. And we are just 5% of the world's thermal coal production. There's 95% comes from others. If we drop out of the market, it'll be filled by Russia or Indonesia or others. So we have a technology-led approach. We've already reduced emissions by 20%. We've made our commitments to 2030. We're in discussions about what else might happen, but we've been clear about our position.
Well, you know the situation here, though, right? According to the best minds in the world, you can't even get to net zero by 2050 with existing technology. It's actually impossible. But so the point here is, what would satisfy the Nationals if the government lines up with this target? What will that materially mean? Are you fearing that there'll actually be some sort of policy decision in the here and now that'll help get there, to phase out coal or to bring in a carbon tax? What do you fear about the target, given how far off it is?
Well, firstly, there'll definitely be no carbon tax under this government. Absolutely not. But we know that they'll just continue to move the goalposts. We know that methane will be next. We've already seen the Greens chasing gas to get rid of gas in this country, to get rid of offshore oil and gas production. We know that the next thing they'll move for will be the red meat sector and then agriculture. And then what do we have left, Chris? It's just not viable. So we want to ensure that we don't have job losses in the regions. We want to ensure it doesn't impact those parts of the economy. And for people like Zali Steggall and others, it's pretty straightforward. If you want to move into wind and solar, there's some great beaches in the North Shore and around Sydney. You can put your offshore wind farms there, and that'll make the people of regional Australia a lot happier.
It's a fascinating situation. We're going to hear a lot more about it in the lead up to the election. Thanks for joining us, Keith.
Hey, great to be with you.